Very excited to chat with a true breakout star this season. He currently ranks second in the NFL with 125 tackles. Are you sore just 24/7, Nick Cross? Like, you can't feel good. Ice tub?
Ice tub, whatever I need to do to get out there on Sundays. I have a great team around me, massage people and everything just to make sure to take care of the body so I can go out there and play on Sundays.
I love it. Before we get into the NFL stuff, I want to ask you something. You were a proud Maryland guy. Let's go Terrapins. I hear you spent your bye week going to a UNC game? Make that make sense to me.
I was supposed to go with one of my teammates. We went down there. He's from there, Taekwon. Was like, hey, you want to go to this game? And I was like, shoot, I ain't got nothing else to do. So I was like, I might as well hop on the plane, go down there. Our player personnel guy, DT, is a UNC guy as well. So me and him have our back and forth bands. As you know, Maryland used to be in the ACC, and they used to do some numbers on them Tar Heels. So we go back and forth a little bit, but it was a good environment. Unfortunately, they weren't able to get out with the dub, but it was still a good environment overall.
The picture is frozen a little bit, but we still see, we still hear you. So let's keep this rolling here. I'm glad you had fun. I don't know if you put your hat on low so nobody would recognize you there. I hope you weren't cheering for him too hard. I didn't see any footage of that, but I want to get into Anthony Richardson. Okay, the 2-point conversion was the talk of the world with the win over the Patriots on Sunday. Such a fun game, but it doesn't happen, Cross, without the play you made to get him the ball back, and it's not getting talked about enough. Walk me through that third down, please.
I was just doing my job. I had my coverage, and, the quarterback started scrambling, and, I was like, hey, it's just me and him. Fortunately, he was able to take a slide, and I was able to just tag him down, get the sack, and, get us off the field so that Anthony could go out there and do his thing. So it was good to be able to do that. And, shout out to Anthony and the rest of the offense for going out there and putting together a clutch drive to go out there and win the game for us.
It was a really, really fun one to watch. And you guys are so alive because of it. And those little plays need to get more love. I'm glad that you're here so we can talk about it. And Drake May, by the way, Drake May wanted none of that. Drake May wanted no part of that. Did you play the saxophone growing up?
I wonder who told you that, but yeah, I started playing when I was in 4th grade. My parents were big in making sure I was a well-rounded individual. I wanted to play the drums, but they were like, they didn't want me beating and making a whole bunch of noise in the house. So started playing the saxophone, played until I was, senior in high school, and just one of those things that, I was pretty decent at. So
when's the last time you played?
Last time I played was probably before my senior year of high school, but I'm sure if I picked it up again, I could, play a couple good tunes. So.
We got to bring that back. You and Jim Irsay, he's got all those guitars. You need to be in the Irsay band.
I was never sent an invite, so I mean, I don't know, but I'm sure if they asked me to, I'd be happy to join.
We got to work on that. Well, in honor of that being your first career sack last week against the Patriots, my producers made you a little saxophone highlight package. Let's see this. Oh, gosh. Sexy sounding. That was real, like this. Okay.
It sounded like me when I was playing.
Yeah, exactly. I wanted to see you pick it up. Okay, I mentioned that you're second in the NFL in tackles. Congratulations. Your teammate, Zaire Franklin, he's your competition, though. And then you got EJ right behind you. EJ Speed is 4th. Tell me about the competitive spirit and how you're keeping tabs of that in the building.
Zaire come up to me sometimes like, hey, I see you coming at me, boy. And I was like, hey, man, hey, at the end of the day, we both going to go out there and compete. And, I have EJ, another, great player. All three of us go out there. We take pride in being able to tackle well and stop the run. And, it's always good to have that competition, that friendly competition in the room to be able to go out there and see who can go out there and perform at the highest level, get the most amount. And, it's just for a little bragging rights. But, ultimately, it's just for us to help the team and put ourselves in position to win games.
It's a perfect answer. If we forget just, the league lead for a second, because that's what you're in competition with your own teammates. Did you know that with 4 games to play, you have 48 tackles to catch up with Hall of Famer Steve Atwater for the most ever by a safety, Nick?
I actually didn't know that. not really a huge stat guy. I didn't really know any of that stuff, but that is good. That's good company to be in, good company to be around. I know Steve Atwater is one of the best ever played the game. So, to be mentioned in a conversation like that is truly honoring.
Even if he does, like the note here from my producer, if you don't catch Atwater, even if you don't, you're on track to become the first safety with 150 plus tackles since Pat Tillman in 2000. Okay,
That's crazy.
you focus on the saxophone.
That's crazy.
I'll focus on the stats. That is so impressive. It is crazy, and I can't wait to see you do it. Who's the guy that you grew up watching that you're like, I want to tackle like this guy?
I would say, Sean Taylor, Brian Dawkins, Colts great, Bob Sanders. Those are guys who I grew up watching. Actually, Brian came to talk to us during training camp, and DT had told me, he's like, hey, there's somebody in the weight room. And as soon as I walked past, I was scooting, so I had my little scooter.
Yeah.
But I brought to a halt the store, and it was like a kid in the candy store, and was able to go up there and talk to him. We exchanged information and everything. So it's always good to see somebody who played at a high level, and they came and talked, and he came and spoke to us, and I was grinning from ear to ear throughout the entire conversation. So it was good to have that, and to see somebody who did what you're trying to do come in and talk to you and talk to the team was truly an amazing experience.
Okay, we can hear you. We can't quite see you, but appreciate you bearing with us. I don't know if we're going to keep this going or go off of it. I do want to say, like, Gus Bradley, we're talking about these guys you looked up to in this company that you're in. I mean, he's coached the Earl Thomases. He's coached Chancellor, Derwin James. How much does that come up? Do you ask him questions? Does that come up at all?
Not really. I mean, occasionally, when we watch our tape and everything, our coaches will put up, some teach tapes of, whether it's Earl or Cam or Derwin doing, a good job of what they were doing. But, I feel like they do a good job of, working with the players they have in the room, and going out there and just, showing us the blueprint so we can go out there and make plays. But, to have somebody who's coached, players who played at a high level at my position is great to have that as well.
I think what I love about Indy, and the reason I know you heard us in the break, me and my producer, like 2 years ago when I met him, we went to Indy to help with Kicking the Stigma. I was invited by the Ursays to help host. So they've raised so much money, a lot of their own money. It's something that's so important as a cause. There's a lot of causes that are really beautifully repped by Indy. For My Cause, My Cleats, you repped Kicking the Stigma. And I've heard you've done a lot of things. I'm close to that. I'm close to Indy. Why is it so important to you?
I would say just, knowing that, everybody's going through something. Everybody has things that they go through in their everyday life. And it's just one of those things where, it's okay to, voice those things. It's okay to be able to, say, hey, I'm not feeling well. I'm not, doing so great. And, we as a community should be able to go and help uplift those people who, might be going through something or might be, at a certain point not doing their best. So it's definitely good to bring that awareness to know that, hey, like, no matter who you are, big, small, it doesn't matter. It's okay for you to, express how you feel and express, that you might not be doing so well and, at a certain stage in life, and that, people will be there to support you.
It's really, really well said. Mental toughness, I feel like was never talked about, not even adversity, just like the mental part of the game. There's the physical, it's so important. And it makes me think just about like what you guys have dealt with just adversity, right? Losses, wins, taking Anthony Richardson off the field, getting him back on. Tell me about your quarterback. I look at what's gone on lately. You've won 2 of your 3 games since he's back in there. Is there a difference? Is there something that you're noticing about Anthony that you want to give love to?
Shout out my guy, Ant. He's a great guy. Ever since he's come in there, he's put his head down and worked. But, especially over the last couple of weeks, just seeing a different level of consistency of discipline, preparation, and just a fierce competitiveness. I see him run the ball, I see him throw the ball, and the fire that he runs with, the passion that he plays with. I'm sitting there on the sideline just, cheering like I said, like a kid in a candy store, watching him, run over defenders, get into the end zone, spike the ball, do his Fortnite dance, whatever he can do in the end zone. It's always good to be able to sit there and see that. We'll sit there and, we'll check in with each other, after, on the sideline, and just make sure to just stay the course. That's my big thing to him. Just, continue to stay the course, trust the process. You're gonna have ups, you're gonna have downs, but as long as you, keep trusting the process, you'll be good. So, he has a bright future. I love, that he's our quarterback and love playing with him. And, at the end of the day, he's the one I go out there and go to war for.
He can't be fun to tackle, huh?
I've never actually had to tackle him,
Good.
so I wouldn't know. But from what I see out there on the field, I can't imagine he's very, fun to tackle.
I can't imagine it either. You guys have what are you doing? You have a bye this week, yeah?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh, yeah, you're not on here. What are you doing for your bye?
I'm chilling. I came home. Obviously, I went to the UNC game, but I came home. Just did some things to take care of my body.
Good.
Went to go see some friends, some family. Caught up on some sleep. Saw the fam and everything. So just a chill bye week, nothing crazy.
I love it. You got a big one on the other side of that. So get your rest. And I want to say, I just looked. You're fourth among safeties in Pro Bowl voting. Like, let's get our stuff together, world. Like, you gotta get into that Pro Bowl. Please go vote for our friend Nick Cross, coming to a playoff near you.
Appreciate it. Thank you.